Hello everyone, my name is Rafi and welcome to my channel, Executive Clock Gallery. I just wanted to do part 3 of the Seth Thomas 113 movement. So let me just stabilize my camera here. Okay, so this was part 3 where we left off. And let's see. Okay, so we got these hammers installed. We got this plate installed. Now, let's go ahead and start assembling. And okay, so then also we got this pallet installed here. Remember, this front bridge is the only thing that separates this pallet fork from everything else. If you take that off, that's the only way you can take off the pallet without having to separate the plates. So I put these feet on the bottom, stabilize it. Now I've already went ahead and bushed this hand shaft here, there. So I'm gonna go ahead and oil that with a drop of synthetic clock oil. Oh, just spread it there. Okay, and then this is the cannon pinion. As you can see, there's 4 pins. The pin that's higher up is for your strike, and then your quarter and your half hour and your 3/4 hour, and back to your strike. So what I do is I go ahead and I grease that with clock grease. Beforehand, and I also drop a touch of oil here as well. Before I put it on. You can put it on as you're turning it all the way, and that's it. Now make sure it's engaging. Okay, now also the minute wheel post gets a drop of synthetic oil. Any post that you see gets oiled before putting on the levers. For example, here, this post gets oiled. That's the minute wheel post. The sensor wheel or the hand shaft gets pre-lubricated. Any of these levers get pre-lubricated before being installed. Here's your rack and your other levers for your strike and for your chime. This one, however, is for your chime, so it gets lubricated either under there or inside, on both sides. Okay, now I put the minute wheel, and then we put our hour wheel. But before we put the hour wheel, this is your hour wheel. So before we put this on, you can put synthetic clock oil here and here only, or you can put a little bit of grease. I use a little bit of synthetic clock oil, so that way it causes less friction. Okay, now what I do is, you can either get the minute hand, or you can turn the minute wheel to find out where is your hour on your cannon pinion. For example, when we look here, you're gonna see it rise. If that's your quarter, that's your half, that's your 3/4, and this is your hour. Or you can use the minute hand. It doesn't rise as much on the quarter. Same with the half and the 3/4. But the hour rises more. You see? Okay, so I leave it on that hour, and then what I do is I get my hour wheel and put it right at the end. No, not there. Right at the end of the 1 o'clock. So that way, all the other hours are correct. In this model, it works. So, I just want to turn it and see if that's correct. If it lands on the 2 o'clock. That's the 2 o'clock right there. Does everyone see? Do you see that? That's 2 o'clock. Okay, now turn it around again. That's your 3 o'clock. Right there. Okay, same with your 4. Lands on 4. 5. Oops. 6. 7. 8. So on and so forth. 9. 10. That's 10 o'clock. Now it starts to get more and more tighter, your tolerance, or your space in between the hours. That's 11 o'clock. Okay, and go back 1 tooth. That's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock, so go back to 1 o'clock. No, see, that's incorrect. So it was correct the first time. See how it lands there? It shouldn't land there. So just go 1 tooth back, forward. Yeah. Now with this model, you can go backwards as well. So I'm gonna check 12 o'clock one more time. Okay. You can also count the rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that's correct. And I'm gonna go back to 1 o'clock just to check it again. Quarter hour, half hour, 3/4 hour, and your 1 o'clock. So that's your position. Now you gotta make sure you put in the washer and the pin or a wire. So you can, what the best way is to go backwards with it. Oh, I'm sorry, forwards with it. Oh, backwards, yes, sorry. And by doing so, you're making it easier to put the washer there, here. You just open up some space. The washer and the wire. So it's a special washer. Any washer will do as long as it's covering. Okay. Now that's too big. That's too small. Okay. Where are my washers? Alright. Then I'll just grab a new washer. You want to make sure it covers the surface area, so that way the hour wheel doesn't come out and change its position. So see if that works. That should work. Let's see what else we have. Okay. And also the diameter of the hole should not be too large either. I think I found the better one. Okay, so like so. Put a piece of wire that fits through the hole. Copper wire, brass wire, something that's flexible, not springy. You see? Okay, so that way the hour wheel doesn't change position. But it looks like I need one more washer. It's too thin. Well, and you want to have end shake. You don't want it to be too tight. I think I'm gonna have to put 2 washers. I don't have the correct one. Okay, the whole point is so that way it covers the surface area. Let's see here. The whole point is that way it's not too tight down, causing friction, and that it doesn't change its orientation. Once we got that done, okay, that's set. Now, what I do is I put on this cam for your quarter hours. So your shortest one from here to here is your quarter hour, and from here to here is your half hour, 3/4, and from here to here is your hour. So you can lubricate it, this oil sink here ahead of time if you like. There. And to put it on, it's a little tricky. So it's better to put the rack down or take it off. But you can also move this tail over and push it down. There. Just it's going to temporarily tighten it, and it's not my final tight. I'm not finalizing the tightening it. You see? You want to make sure it's not rubbing against the tail of the rack. And also, it has to go under there. Okay, once we got that done, and go ahead and lubricate these arbors. Arbor oil sink. And don't drench it in oil, just enough for it to be lubricated. Also, the click spring, the clicks under the screw and on and behind the spring. Okay. Next we put the ratchets. You gotta pull the click back and engage the ratchet. Okay. And then it doesn't have to be in this order. You can find out the order for yourself, but this is the way I do it. So also these tiny arbors, this ratchet and this arbor go like so, like that. Now when you do that, you also want to lubricate here. You need some sort of a synthetic clock oil there, and also here. There and there. Now we put these plates. I don't know who marked them. You don't need to mark them. They're identical. You got 3 of them. So now we just put that on. And you get close up. Whoops. Dropped my phone. Okay, so here's a close up. Like that. Like that. And like that. Once you put that on, you put on these 6 screws here. These 6 screws. Okay. And make sure you torque everything, all the screws after you finalize it. So that goes there. Okay. Okay. Now in this video I'm not showing any adjustments. I'm just showing you how to assemble things. And then this gear here, which has those 2 screws, go right here. Do you see that post there? Okay, so that's for your chime. It's your chime wheel, and you loosen that to adjust it, to adjust the chimes. You can oil it ahead of time. The pivot, that oil sink, and then put it on the screws facing upwards, and just gently tighten. Don't torque it, just gently tighten these so it doesn't fall off. We are going to adjust it after. Okay. This is your suspension spring. I don't know what you call it. It's a bracket that goes on top of this oil sink for your pallets. There, those 2 holes, and it allows your bracket to adjust for your fast and slow. Can you see? Goes in this way, this direction, through the suspension spring slot, and allows for it to go up and down to adjust your timing. Also, you can, that's your minor adjustment. Your major adjustment would be off your pendulum screw. Okay. Relocate locate your feet, movement feet. Oil this one for your pallet, that oil sink first before you put on this, because it's gonna cover it. Now don't over oil it, you just need a tiny bit of oil. But most people make that mistake, they oil everything, over oil everything. You can use your screw holding screwdriver, that works just fine. You use these short, really short, small screws. Can you see? Okay. Okay. I actually have to slow down to make this video, but it's worth it, so people can see how it's done. Now, to put this on, it's very simple. Look at where the suspension spring is. It goes over here, underneath those two screws. Can you see? Okay, let me take it off so you can see. You take off these 4 screws, the 2 in the top rear and 2 in the front rear, 2 in the top front. So these one at the corner, left top corner, right top corner, you take these 2 screws off. You take the front top screws off, these 2, one here and one here, and you put you see the suspension spring that goes reverse, so in the back, just like so, like that. Like that. Make sure the suspension spring goes through the slot. And put your longest screws in the front. Make sure you put these brackets. Now there's a way to put it. Putting the brackets, you want to make sure it's rising forward, not inward. See, rising forward, like so. Okay, and it's good to mark the location if it's adjustable. You can adjust this up or down. It goes on both sides, so put that. I'm trying to go over as much as